I think most of you know this, but knowledge isn't enough to prevent discrimination. And this is your friendly reminder about that. In this video, we're in the fourth of a four-part series where I've been telling the story of Chris, who had multiple stalking complaints against him at work. And ultimately, what we discovered in the course of the investigation was that there may have been discrimination going in a couple of different directions. I'm Nancy Schick of Third Year Conflict Resolution, where we take a holistic approach to resolving workplace disputes like this one. So we did this impartial investigation. We found out that Chris had been trying to make friends. Yes, he was also trying to get a date, and he may have been using some techniques he learned in movies and television that were inching him into that stalking border, right? Where he could have actually been violating law. But what we really discovered is that maybe it was being represented in a way that was a little bit less likely that people felt afraid of him. It was more that he was a little different because he was neurodivergent. He had a different way of attempting to socialize. If you know anything about people that are on the spectrum, as they say, sometimes they don't have the same social skills as what you might expect. And so then you couple that with the fact that Chris was trying to learn how to get a date by watching movies and television. He was kind of in a quandary, right? And he was stepping in it a lot. But ultimately, his coworkers thought he was the weird guy. And that was because of his disability, which had been documented. So we saw that then there was the sex discrimination going on potentially in the workplace regarding the stalking complaint, but the disability discrimination was also present. There were multiple failures in management and in the workplace generally. It was despite the discrimination policy, right? The non-discrimination policy that said you're going to treat people fairly. But what about neurodivergent people? Despite the sexual harassment policy, there was Chris still kind of stepping in it and inching into that stalking definition. And that was despite mandatory annual training. So bottom line is people don't always recognize the signs. Knowledge is not going to be enough. There are just too many other demands on people that they're not going to be dealing with this on a regular basis. So the annual training is just one piece of it. I like to say that it's the KARR method. It's knowledge, application, and then reinforcement of the behavior you want to see and reconciling or resolving whatever issues come up. So if you're dealing with these kinds of things in your workplace, definitely click that link below and let's have a consultation. Or if you're not sure, that's another good reason to do a consultation, because there's a good chance that you have employees that have the knowledge but don't necessarily have the skills to address these kinds of issues when they come up. So again, click that subscribe button below. I'll keep doing videos like this about different cases that we've worked on. And of course, in the meantime, keep listening with your third ear for those hurts you can heal.